I'm Lizzie Harrison for Card Player TV, coming to you from the Fontana Lounge at the Bellagio in Las Vegas. Today was day 1A of the Bellagio Cup IV, and 104 players anteed up the $15,000 buy-in. Now, Gabe Thaler's not normally a tournament player. We always find him in the cash games, but we caught up with him tonight in the Fontana Lounge.
I actually had a pretty good day. The last level made a couple nice hands and increased my chip stack from what was probably average to closer to 100,000, so it was a good day.
I heard you had a full house in one of the last levels. I was talking to one of the dealers. How did the action go on that hand?
I raised it up in the cutoff with the 10-8 of diamonds and got called from the big blind. The flop came 10-10 deuce with two clubs.
Pretty sweet for a nice raise.
Yeah, at this point I love it. At this point I'm pretty happy with it. And he checked and I bet, and then I caught what you would call the joker on the turn, which is the 8 of clubs, because I never saw my opponent's hand, but I'm pretty sure he made a flush.
Ooh.
And then he checked and called a pretty big bet. Blank king come to river, and he checked and called a really big bet. So I have to believe that he didn't just flop a 10, that he made a flush, and I got really lucky with the card that makes me a full house and him a flush.
That works. So you don't play a lot of tournaments. I know you're primarily a cash game player. What brought you out to the Bellagio for this event?
Well, actually, my family's out of town, so I had a little bit of time.
A little bit of free time for Gabe.
Right, and actually, I'm kind of going to make a commitment starting from now for the next 12 months or so to play a few more tournaments. I've never really given myself a chance to play 12 or 15 tournaments in a year and find out how I would do. So this was probably going to be the beginning of that, and so far it's working out that way.
The current chip leader, Marco Johnson, gained that chip lead by eliminating David Singer on the last hand of the night.
Talking about some crazy last action on the last hand. And,
no one wants to get too involved on the last hand.
Exactly, that's what I thought. It was 300, 600. I made it 1,600 with aces.
Like everybody calls.
Yeah, get like 3 callers, and then the only big stack at the table, who was David Singer, squeezed a fair amount to like 10,000, I think. So I made it 1,600 with 2 callers, and he made it 10,000.
Did you think he had a big hand, or you just squeezing?
No, I thought he could have a light hand, but I thought that he could. I mean, I don't know. I didn't exactly know where he's at. He's been mixing it up all day, but I thought that if I squeezed it small to like 30K, which I decided to do, that there's a good chance he could like 5-bet shove complete air on me on the last hand.
Right.
But he ended up just calling, so there was like I had raised to 30K after he raised my pre-flop to 10K, so there's like 65K out there, and I shoved like 80K on the flop on a 6-6-3 flop rainbow.
Yeah, pretty sweet flop for you.
Yeah, it was definitely good, and he mumbled something like.
Did you think you were getting a call?
Yeah, I really did. Thought I might get a light call, and we had a bunch of hands previously, so.
And what did David have?
I stuck it in, and he called with 2 10s. He mumbled something like, whatever you have, your hand, I don't know. But,
He mumbled something.
And he woke up with 2 10s, so it was definitely a good spot to pick up a lot of chips at the end.
We'll be back tomorrow with more coverage of the Bellagio Cup IV. I'm Lizzie Harrison for Card Player TV.